They never screamed at you. They never abandoned you in public. And yet, something inside you still feels broken. Invisible wounds create the most dangerous adults, because emotional neglect does not leave scars on the skin. It leaves silence inside the soul. Some people grow up learning how to speak. Others grow up learning how to hide. Hide emotions, hide pain, hide needs. And after years of pretending to be okay, they forget who they really are. Psychology calls this emotional neglect. Carl Jung called it the death of the authentic self. A child survives by becoming what others accept. But one day, that child becomes an adult who feels empty for no visible reason. And the terrifying part is this: most emotionally neglected people never realize it happened to them. They think their anxiety is normal, their loneliness is normal, their emotional numbness is personality. But deep inside, their nervous system is still waiting for the love it never received. The first sign is simple. You apologize for everything, even things that are not your fault. Someone bumps into you. You say sorry. Someone ignores your message. You blame yourself. You carry guilt like oxygen because as a child, you learned that keeping others comfortable was safer than expressing your own feelings. Emotionally neglected children become emotional caretakers. They monitor moods. They avoid conflict. They become experts at reading tension before it explodes. But here's the dark truth. People who apologize too much often attract manipulative personalities. Narcissists love people who already believe they are the problem. The second sign is even deeper. You struggle to identify what you feel. Someone asks, "Are you okay?" And your mind goes blank. Not because nothing is happening inside you, but because nobody taught you emotional language. A child learns emotions through reflection. A parent says, "I see you're sad. I know you're scared. Your feelings matter." But emotionally neglected children hear silence instead, or worse, discomfort. So they disconnect from themselves to survive. Carl Jung believed that whatever is ignored in the unconscious gains power in the shadows. Repressed emotions do not disappear. They transform into anxiety, overthinking, emotional explosions, or chronic emptiness. And most people never connect the dots. The third sign. You feel uncomfortable receiving love. Compliments make you nervous. Affection feels suspicious. Kindness feels temporary. Because deep down, you were conditioned to believe love must be earned. Emotionally neglected children often become hyper-independent adults. They say things like, "I don't need anyone." But independence is sometimes just pain wearing armor. The human mind adapts in dangerous ways. If your emotional needs were ignored long enough, your brain eventually stops expressing them. Not because they disappeared, but because hope became too painful. And this creates a strange paradox. You crave connection, but intimacy terrifies you. You want love, but when it arrives, you question it. You want to be understood, but you never reveal your real self. This is not weakness. This is psychological survival. The fourth sign is hidden behind productivity. You feel worthless when you are not achieving something. Rest makes you anxious. Doing nothing feels dangerous. Your value became tied to performance because emotional validation was conditional. Good grades, good behavior, no problems, no emotions. Many emotionally neglected children become high achievers because achievement becomes their substitute for love. But no success can fill emotional starvation. That is why some of the most successful people secretly feel empty. They conquered the external world while abandoning the internal one. The fifth sign is brutal. You minimize your own pain. You tell yourself, others had it worse. My childhood wasn't that bad. I'm just sensitive. This is one of the strongest symptoms of emotional neglect. You learned that your suffering was inconvenient, so now you invalidate yourself before anyone else can. And society rewards this behavior. People praise emotional suppression. They call it maturity, discipline, toughness. But Jung warned about this long ago. The more disconnected a person becomes from their emotional truth, the more fragmented their identity becomes. The shadow grows stronger every time authenticity is sacrificed for acceptance. The sixth sign. You feel emotionally exhausted around people, not because you hate people, but because you are constantly performing, smiling when tired, agreeing when uncomfortable, pretending when hurting. Emotionally neglected individuals often become social shapeshifters. They adapt to every environment, every personality, every expectation. And after years of adaptation, they no longer know who they are without an audience. This creates a silent existential crisis. If your entire personality was built for survival, what part of you is actually real? Most people avoid this question because the answer is terrifying. The seventh sign hides inside relationships. You become addicted to emotionally unavailable people, cold partners, distant friends, unpredictable affection. Your nervous system mistakes emotional inconsistency for love because chaos feels familiar. This is one of the darkest realities in psychology. Humans are attracted to what feels emotionally familiar, even when it destroys them. A neglected child unconsciously searches for the same emotional environment in adulthood, hoping this time the ending will change. But it rarely does. You cannot heal in relationships that recreate the wound. The eighth sign is overthinking everything. Every message, every tone, every silence. Your brain became hypervigilant because emotional safety was unpredictable. Children raised in emotionally unstable environments become experts at scanning danger. Their nervous system never fully relaxes. And over time, this constant state of alertness becomes identity. You call it being observant. Psychology calls it survival mode. The ninth sign is terrifying because it looks normal. You struggle to ask for help. Even when drowning, you solve problems alone, suffer alone, cry alone, because dependence once felt unsafe. Some emotionally neglected children learned very early that vulnerability leads to disappointment. So they stop reaching out completely, and eventually, loneliness becomes familiar. But here is the paradox nobody talks about. The strongest looking people are often the most emotionally abandoned internally. The 10th sign changes everything once you notice it. You feel emotionally numb during moments that should matter. Birthdays, relationships, achievements, family moments. You experience life intellectually instead of emotionally. This happens because chronic emotional suppression disconnects the mind from the body. Feelings become muted, distant, foggy, and the scariest part is that many people mistake numbness for peace. But numbness is not peace. It is frozen pain. Carl Jung believed that healing begins when a person confronts the unconscious truth they spent their life avoiding. And for emotionally neglected people, that truth is devastatingly simple. You are not too needy. You are emotionally unseen. There is a massive difference. A neglected child does not stop loving their parents. They stop loving themselves, because children naturally assume the problem must be them. If my emotions are ignored, maybe my emotions are wrong. If nobody understands me, maybe I should disappear. And this belief quietly follows them into adulthood, into relationships, into careers, into identity itself. But awareness changes everything. The moment you recognize these patterns, the unconscious loses control. You stop chasing unavailable people. You stop apologizing for existing. You stop abandoning yourself to keep others comfortable. And for the first time in your life, you begin rebuilding the person emotional neglect forced you to bury. This is where dark psychology becomes power. Because once you understand the hidden wounds controlling human behavior, you stop being unconsciously manipulated by them. Most people spend their entire lives reacting to childhood programming they never questioned. But self-awareness is dangerous. It breaks patterns. It exposes illusions. It forces transformation. And transformation always feels like death before it feels like freedom. The child inside you adapted to survive. But survival is not the same as living. Real healing begins the moment you stop asking, "What is wrong with me?" and start asking, "What happened to me that made me disappear from myself?" Because the most tragic form of neglect is not being abandoned by others. It is abandoning yourself to become lovable. And the rarest kind of power in this world is finally becoming emotionally honest with who you are.